If self-inquiry were just another form of thinking about yourself, it would have worked by now. You probably think you already know how to look within. You have thoughts about yourself. You reflect. You analyze. You may even watch your mind. Yet, despite all of that, the sense of being a separate someone remains firmly in place. That alone should raise a question. There's a subtle confusion here. Most people turn self-inquiry into a mental exercise. They ask questions and wait for better answers. They collect insights. They feel informed. But nothing fundamental shifts. The center stays intact. That tension matters. It tells you something important is being missed. Welcome. This is Richard Clarke. Today I'll talk about how to do self-inquiry. Self-inquiry is not self-analysis. It's not psychological reflection and analysis. It is not problem solving. It's not about improving your personality or fixing your life. It's not a mantra saying, "Who am I? Who am I?" Self-inquiry points in a very specific direction. Inquiry points towards self-knowledge, not conceptual knowledge, but direct experiential knowing of yourself, the consciousness and existence that you are. Self-knowledge is the direct recognition of being and awareness as they are, prior to thought, interpretation, and language. It's not something the mind understands. It's what is noticed when the mind is no longer taken to be the center of your being and you start noticing awareness. The basics of self-inquiry are simple. You quiet yourself, you notice your experience, thoughts, sensations, emotions, perceptions. Then you question the assumption of personal ownership of these experiences, not by arguing with it, but by looking at it. You can ask, what is always, since you are always, and dismiss anything that comes and goes, everything that is temporary. How can you be temporary? Finally, you can rest in that which is always. This is all within the question, who am I? In everyday life, the sense of self feels obvious. You feel like a someone located in the body, usually the head. You feel like the one who is thinking, choosing, and acting. Self-inquiry does not deny this feeling. Self-inquiry asks you to verify it. Everything in your life is built upon the foundation of your identity, so it is worthwhile to verify it. Here's how to do self-inquiry, to ask, who am I, in a practical way. Quiet your mind. I used breath watching for this when I was first starting with self-inquiry. After a while, your mind naturally gets quieter. Start by noticing that you exist. You exist, and you know that you exist. This starts the inquiry with something that is always real and true. Slow down and notice what is actually present. Right now, there may be sounds, body sensations, visual impressions, and thoughts. These come and go. Let them be there. Let them go. Do not try to stop anything. Just notice what is there. Ask yourself in a quiet and open way, who am I? And notice how the mind responds. It may answer with various roles and identities you hold. Notice that you know that role or identity. You know about it. To know about it, you must stand apart from it to know about it. If you stand apart from it, you are not it. You come to know that you are not any of those roles and identities. Who am I if I am not any of those roles and identities? Next, notice a thought. Any thought will do. Ask yourself, did I choose this thought before it appeared? Look honestly. Do not answer from belief. Look directly at the thought. Then ask, where did it come from? Can you point to a place? Or did it simply appear? Ramana Maharshi would say to ask, for whom is this thought? The answer obviously is, for me. Then ask, well, who am I? Which returns you to the inquiry. Now, turn towards the sense of being the one who is aware. You might feel this as a location. You may imagine it as an observer behind your eyes. Instead of assuming it is there, look for it. Is it a sensation? Is it an image? Is it another thought? Can the awareness be anything that is objective? Can it be anything that you perceive? If it is not any of these, from where does this sense of I come from? This is the core of self-inquiry. You're not trying to get rid of the self. You're checking whether it exists in the way you assume. Each time you look, you may notice activity, but no independent controller. You notice that everything you experience occurs within the awareness that you are. As this becomes clearer, something else is recognized. Awareness is present before any thought about who you are appears. Awareness and being is present before any description is applied. This recognition is not an experience that comes and goes. It is the simple fact of what is here when words fall silent. Inquiry becomes resting in the awareness that you are. Self-inquiry is not something you do once and finish. It's not a technique to master. It's a way of looking that reveals self-knowledge by removing what obscures it, not by effort, but by honesty and direct experiential knowledge of yourself. Inquiry is resting in and as yourself. This matters because many people turn self-inquiry into another form of striving. They try to hold a question. They strain to stay aware. They wait for a result. That effort quietly assumes a separate self who must succeed. When that assumption is known as false, inquiry deepens on its own. What changes when self-inquiry goes deep is not your life circumstances. Thoughts still arise, emotions still move, the body still ages. What changes is the belief that all this belongs to a separate ego and that ego is who you are. Experience becomes less personal, not because you detach, but because ownership was never as solid as it seemed. Self-inquiry becomes more relevant later in life. The hunger for improvement fades. The willingness to see what is actually here grows. Now, do not turn this into a method. Instead, look. Right now, notice the sense of being the one hearing these words. Where is that someone located? Who knows this hearing? It is the mind. Who knows the mind? Is it something other than sensations, thoughts, and images? Before the word I appears, what is present? Leave this question open. Since being and awareness are here without effort, what exactly is it that you have been calling yourself all this time? What changes and what is always? Rest in what is always. Keep looking inward. Namaste.